modern mechanics, right? It's like have like these newer players to come in and do well, and as opposed to like more seasoned players, like not like they perform well, but they're not as consistent as far as.
Well, the mechanics these days are such that defensive capabilities are easy to overcome.
Okay.
Right? Back then, it's harder to overcome defensive mechanics because the game caters to the defensive mechanics. Like I said, if you were to play a game like Alpha, you can have the momentum, but be sure that a person has a bar, they can break your momentum very easily.
That's right.
They can break your momentum very easily. In a game like Third Strike, they can break your momentum very easily. Just one parry, they break your momentum. Like that.
Yep.
But today's fighting game, you won't. I mean, in Street Fighter 4, right? You can break a person's momentum with focus backdash, right? Or focus attack, right? Or a reversal. These days, not many games have like true reversals. Even in games like Strive, a Dragon Punch is not truly invincible. You can throw it, right? Like in Street Fighter, it requires an EX meter to break momentum. But they're slowly trying to. Only specific characters have that, and they have their pros and cons.
I see.
So
yeah, I see. So they want the game to like I guess they want the modern games to be more offensive.
They do. They want it more offensive
and more exciting, I guess.
Blocking has been turned into something that's been just defensive, as in to simplify as to hold a direction, and nothing more than that, right? There's nothing within your defensive capabilities to do. Street Fighter has a little bit of that, but it's not too strong. Like Street Fighter 5, you have reversal. V-Shift actually changed the dynamic of the defensive capabilities, but still, it's not quite like the ultimate go-to, you know?
It's like, I
remember
guess
Street Fighter?
I guess that's how the meta is.
Remember Street Fighter 5 Season 1? You know, Ken just does a raw DPs. It's invincible. You gotta hold that.
You have to hold that.
Yeah, Ken could break your momentum easily. Cammy could break your momentum easily because they have true reversal Dragon Punches.
Yeah.
But remember, they took it out for a reason.
That makes sense. That makes sense. I guess good point. Damn, man, that's a great point. All right. Well, let's talk about your competitive days, man. Oh, you still are competitive.
I am. Still am.
Still are. Are you like I guess you did the 8 on the break, right? How long you was doing that, like before you started going to other states?
I think we were going 8 on the break until I was at least like 25.
Oh, okay. Yeah. So it was just a long time here.
Long time. I used to be very competitive from the early 2000 scenes. I was still competitive even until 2010. I took a hiatus to play like World of Warcraft, and EverQuest. I played EverQuest first, but then I played World of Warcraft, and then I take a lot of breaks in between because playing one game over and over gets very repetitive and monotonous. So that's not something I want to do. I always want to do stuff that is different.
Are you So was Midwest Championship your first out of like the tri-state area?
No. First out of state was Game Time. We used to go to Virginia. Game Time, yeah.
What game you was playing?
Oh, we were playing like Street Fighter Alpha 3 at that time when we were going to Game Time.
So it was like 1999.
Yeah, we used to take we should drive down to Virginia and we used to go to Game Time and play there maybe once a month. But we go from the break. Sometimes we go from the break straight to. That's when I didn't have a job,
Did you and you guys there was like a pot in it and all that?
There was extra money. That's where that's when I met a lot of people from Virginia, like Ski Sonic.
Ski Sonic, where?
Yeah,
okay.
Ski Sonic was there too at Game Time.
Shout out to Ski Sonic, by the way, man. What?
Chris Gripus, a lot of older players,
Yeah.
I forgot a lot of other players,
but were you winning?
I was winning, yeah.
Okay, you and
me and Eddie were winning, yeah. Me and Eddie were traveling the whole East Coast in the early 2000s. We were traveling everywhere. We went to the Japan versus America tournament. That's the prequel to SBO back then.
Your name rang out when I first heard about you. No, actually, I first heard about Eddie first. It was like I used to go to these local newsstands by my house where I used to live at, and they had tips and tricks, and they had like at the near the end of the magazine, right? Every month there was like these random tournaments. I remember the tournament. It might be the VA tournament because it was either that or Midwest Championships. It was one of those two.
Probably the VA one first because it was in tips and tricks because Jason Wilson was there.
Oh, okay.
And Alex Valle was there too.
Okay, so most likely it was there. And then they had like your picture. It was either you and I forgot who. It was an Asian though. And then I always had this like thing on like, yo, why are Asian people so good at fighting games?
I don't think
a friend of mine, his name Bei Cheng, right? And he was so good. He was really good. And that's like one of the guys that like really started making me want to get better at fighting games because of him. And
I think it's more of a cultural thing,
really?
You know? Yeah, because you know a lot of Asian people are taught about like patience as a virtue when they're very young.
That makes sense.
And you know, a lot of people don't know. A lot of East Coast philosophy is based upon defense. You know. We don't advocate on the East Coast, and it's been a very long time. We don't advocate for offense. The West Coast is very offensive, right? And the East Coast is very defensive because we're, I would say, like minimalistic players comparatively to the West Coast. We're like players that just want to block and do nothing and win, you know? That's really our goal back then. I'll be honest with you, back then, so easy to tech throws back then, especially when you're like 18, 21. You still have the reactions.
You talking about as far as
in terms of tech and throws in games and stuff.
Oh, okay, yeah. I would imagine, yeah.
I mean, games weren't, you know.
Shimmies wasn't even a thing because there was actually. There was like a few games that had throw buttons, but most of the games back then didn't have a throw button. Actually, it was just
they had to hold forward to punches, but shimmies wasn't a thing. But it started becoming a thing like in Third Strike already, but people don't really do it as to throw. They want to throw it they want to shimmy to punish like a move back then, but we don't call it a shimmy. We just call it footsies, you know. That's what it really is. But you know, people call it shimmy today because you know it's just what they call it, you know.
Word. All right, so let's fast forward. Let's talk about your. Actually, I actually want to talk about this one. I was going to go to EVO 09, but I want to talk about EVO East, 2007, I think.
That's 2007.
You was caught in some sort of situation there, playing Third Strike versus a specific person in Canada. I forgot their name.
Oh, Samir, you're talking about that thing?
So there was like, cause I want the people that are new in this FGC, I want them to know like how crazy it was because this was never really thought of.
I already said it on Alphaism Radio a long time ago, right? It doesn't make sense, right? Why are there like 10 tournament stations, right? And the ruling says you can only play at a tournament station, right? And the only reason why I went to a BYOC area to play a tournament, right, it already goes against the ruling, right? And Jason Wilson at that time had the Champion Edition stick, and I asked Jason if he can loan the stick to the guy to play, and Jason said sure, right? His stick wasn't working because it wouldn't work on any of. Come on, it doesn't work on any of the tournament stations. It's kind of suspect, right? I already was suspecting already. It's like, come on, what is this bullshit, right? You telling me out of all these stations they're providing, not one of them work right? All right, let's see what kind of game you're playing, right? So they had a tournament station all the way in the back, you know, which is not a legal tournament station because I played it anyways because I said like, you know what? Who cares, right? What's the worst that can happen? Let me check this out. Let me see what this guy's trying to do, right? We're all the way. Okay, I play Hugo, right? And you know, if you play anything about Third Strike, you will understand that you cannot kill Hugo with one Genai Jin combo. It's not possible. Right? I even tell everyone that. How do you kill Hugo with one Genai Jin combo? Hugo has the most health in the game. You would need minimum 2 Genai Jin combos, and it still wouldn't kill him. Right? Unless you do like a mix-up in between, something like that within Genai Jin.
Yeah, reset the damage.
Yeah, but he didn't do anything like that. He just did the basic strong. It did like so much damage, it did like 70% of my health. I'm like, yo, there's something broken with this. And I paused the game and I questioned it, and I went to find a judge, right? But then when I went to find James Chen already, it was too late already, right? Because I already had lost the first game. Right, and then afterwards, I'm like, something wrong with this. And I asked if we could go play at another station, and he was like, nah, my control only works at this station. We had a big dispute over it, and I said, I'm just not gonna play anymore. Anyways, he went to play Justin on the same station, and then when I told Justin about it, I said, go check the settings. I think this guy has his damage on 5 stars, right? And I was like, he's like, really? And when he checked it, and Justin can attest to you, that time when he said it, the whole screen just reset when he saw that because some things were changed in there. Why would you need to play on that only station? That's all I'm saying. Why would you need to play? If you were truly being a tournament player, you could play on any tournament station with your joystick. And why does your joystick only work on one specific player? Like first player's side, doesn't work on second player's side, only works on first player's side on one console. Come on.
Yeah, man.
If that's not suspicious, I don't know what it is.
Yes,
You have 10 other tournament PlayStation. You're telling me your control only works on one piece side on only one specific player station.
Yeah, because I was recording some money matches in Marvel. They had a Marvel station right there, like right next to you guys.
No, the funny part is like, and I was telling him, and you know what happened at the end, right? At the end, James Chen finally came over and said, "Nah, you guys can't play on this station anymore. You can only play on the tournament stations." Right?
Yeah, and then you was like, before that, you was like, man, like,
And he lost. He lost to the next person he played after Justin. He lost immediately. And I was like, bro, look at that, 2-0. You know, I'm like, nah, come on.
Yeah, because I remember he was like getting loud and like, what the fuck's going on?
Nowadays, if you told me like, yo, let's go to BYO station to play your tournament, I wouldn't do that shit no more.
Yeah.
Because I would say just forfeit your match, right? I'm gonna take that. You know, because these days people are trying to look for all kinds of methodologies these days. Back then, I was younger. I was more compassionate about tournament play. But these days, it's cutthroat. You know.
So they had it preset though. So I want to know how it happened. They preset it before?
They preset it was before you even go to set. The menu's preset. When he plugs the controller, it works. You'll start the match, and the damage is on his side already because you can't see the damage on the screen. You have to go back in the options menu in Third Strike.
Okay.